Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Yes. What do you want from me? How's it going? I'm Tony. Hope you're having a great day, and welcome to Tony QnA. This is where I answer your questions that you can submit in the comments below or on Twitter with the hashtag TonyQnA. But since I haven't done this in a while, I just went online and found some questions. Alright, how old do you think you'll be when you get married? Ooh, we're starting right off the bat, huh? In all honesty, I don't know. So when I was in high school, the plan was, graduate high school at 17, go through my 4 years of college, so I'd be graduating college at 21, and then I wanted to have 2 years into my job before I got married, and then 2 years into my job before I got married, and then 2 years into marriage before I had a kid. So I would have been married at 23 and had a kid at 25. And I'm currently 28 and I don't have a kid and I'm not married. So much for that plan. But I look at people like Steve Zaragoza from the former SourceFed and Dan Avidan from Game Grumps and Ninja Sex Party and all the nonsense that he does. And these are both people I really look up to and respect. And they're both in their 30s and neither one of them are married. Well, Steve used to be married, but he's not anymore. But he is in a relationship. And so I kind of figure I'm going to fall into the same category of, if I get married, if and when, I do want to get married eventually. If and when I get married, it's going to be in my mid to late 30s probably. Hopefully not my late 30s. Maybe mid to early 30s. Although I'm already 28, so I'm running out of time. Question 2. What would you name your daughter if you had one? Well, once again, gotta get married first. Well, I guess technically I don't, but I'd like to get married first before I have a kid. As far as a daughter, I honestly haven't really thought about it. I don't really know what I would name my daughter if I had one. I've always liked the name Lindsay, probably because I dated a Lindsay, but I have always liked the name Lindsay, and I have never met a Katie that I didn't like, so those are 2 names that are in the running. Or, whatever my wife wants to name her. Alright, and the logical next question, what would you name your son if you had one? So I saw this movie a while back, I believe it was called Goal. It's a soccer movie, and I'm not even into soccer, I don't watch it, but still highly recommend the movie. It's a great movie. And the main character in that movie is named Santiago. And I just kind of liked it. Especially if I gave him my middle name, Anthony, it'd be the full Hispanic name would be Santiago Antonio Muela. And I'm like, ooh, that sounds gorgeous. But the truth of the matter is, I'm not super Hispanic. I mean, I am, but I'm not super Hispanic. And I don't really see myself ending up with a girl who's super Hispanic. So, if I go and name this little white boy Santiago, I don't know if that's gonna work out so well. So to answer the question, I have no idea. I assume if and when I have a son, me and my wife will discuss naming him. Alright, what's the worst grade you got on a test? An F. Straight up, an F. I was not a good student. Well, okay, so I wasn't a good student in elementary school. I wasn't dumb, it's just, I feel like I didn't pay attention, really. And, I wonder why. I feel like I didn't pay attention, and, I'm such a spastic person that, it's hard to, you gotta really grasp my attention if you want me to pay attention, and I get distracted easily. Anyway, I'm getting distracted right now. Anyway, I didn't do very well in elementary school, and then it wasn't until 7th grade that, the world just opened up and I got it. So from 7th grade to about 9th grade, I actually was an AB student, but then after that I had some personal issues, and then from sophomore on, I've been a horrible student and F's and D's. I am pretty intelligent and I do enjoy learning, but I don't like school learning. I don't like being forced to learn something. I don't want to, you gotta read 4 chapters of this book tonight and write an essay on something you don't care about. If I want to learn something, I'm gonna look it up and I'm gonna learn it. Don't tell me what I need to learn. Clearly, I also have some issues with authority. Alright, next. What was your favorite TV show when you were a child? This actually was not planned out. I didn't realize that I put this in there, but my favorite, show when I was a child was Pokemon. And I still love Pokemon. Actually, I remember one time I got in trouble because I didn't do well in school. Back to the school nonsense. I wasn't doing well in school, And so I was put on what my parents called restriction. I was never grounded, but I was on restriction quite a few times. And I was on restriction from television. So I couldn't watch Pokemon. And there was a new episode of Pokemon coming on. It was going to be Charizard versus Magmar. And the commercial they had, it was like supposed to be this epic fight. And I'm like, I know I'm on restriction, but I'm not missing this. I'm not missing this show. So I woke up early when it came on Saturday morning. I want to say it was like 9 in the morning. And I watched that episode, even though I wasn't supposed to, because I love Pokemon. I was also a big fan of Power Rangers. I liked the Ninja Turtles. All of like 90s Nickelodeon. I liked Ed, Edd n Eddy from Cartoon Network. Yeah, I watched a lot of TV. I liked a lot of cartoons and such. Oh, and then not Nick at Night, but what was it called? Snick? Was it Snick? Where they had like Kenan and Kel and all that. And ooh, I liked Drake and Josh, although I was a little older when Drake and Josh came out. Anyway, yeah, I liked Nickelodeon a lot. All right, next is, what did you dress up as on Halloween when you were 8? I have no idea. I don't remember what I dressed up as when I was 8. But I do remember, hold on, I've been talking too much and I'm thirsty. I do remember that my mom used to make me costumes a lot. And one year she actually made me a Power Rangers costume. And like she made me gloves that were out of socks. Like she cut them and sewed them together and sewed on the little diamond things. So I had like sock gloves, and it doesn't sound as cool as it was. It was actually really cool. I remember I was getting ready to go out and trick or treat, and my mom wasn't there yet. I think I was at my grandparents' house, and my mom was, I don't know what she was doing, but she just didn't make it in time, and I was getting impatient. So I put on a Batman costume that I already had. I had like a mask and like this plastic armor thing of Batman. And I'm like, I'm not waiting anymore. I want to go trick-or-treating. So I put on my Batman costume and I went trick-or-treating. And when I got back, my mom was there and she's like, I made you this costume and you didn't even wear it. And I'm like, you're late. I wanted my candy. So I don't know how old I was when that happened, but that's the one that sticks in my mind the most. Okay, have you read any of the Harry Potter, Hunger Games, or Twilight series? I didn't read any of the Twilight series, because why would I? I didn't read any of the Hunger Games, because honestly I don't even know if I knew they existed until the movies came out. And as most of you probably already know, I'm not much of a reader. Once again, it's hard to get me to sit down. I can... excuse me. So I know a lot of people, like, when the movie comes out, they want to read the book, but I'm the exact opposite. If the movie's coming out, I'm not reading the book. Why would I spend a month reading a book when I can spend an hour and a half to 2 hours watching a movie? It's just, I understand there's a difference, and I have read books where I'm like, wow, the book really is better than the movie. I understand that intellectually. It's just the time I would have to dedicate to a book compared to the time I'd have to dedicate to watching a movie is just, plus getting me to sit down in a quiet room and read is just doesn't work out. However, that being said, my mom actually did introduce me to the Harry Potter series when I was younger. I don't remember when. And what I would do is every summer I would read one of the Harry Potter books. And I did that for 4 years. Actually, I did that for almost 4 years. Because I read the first 3 books, and then I read, I think, a third of the 4th book. But I was also reading another book at the time, and it was too many books at the same time because it was 2 books. And so I stopped reading the Harry Potter book and finished the book that I was originally reading, and then I just never really got back to that 4th book. And then the movies came out, and I'm like, oh, I don't need to read the book anymore. The movies are out. But I will say, the Harry Potter books are great. I actually have read Stephen King's The Eye of the Dragon, I think is it's called. Also a great book, and my favorite book that I had to read in high school was Of Mice and Men. Just so, I have read books, I'm just not much of a active book reader. Alright, would you rather have an American accent or a British accent? I mean, I'm like everyone else. I love a British accent. I love an Australian accent. I love all the Eastern area accents, Irish, Scottish, all that nonsense. That being said, although they are beautiful, I don't want to change myself. I want my accent. I want to be me. So as much as I love them, I'm cool with my, I guess, American accent. Let's see here. Are your grandparents still married? On my dad's side, yes. They are both in their 80s, I believe, and they've been married for 60 years or something like that, probably longer than that. Yes, they are still married. Awesome. However, on my mom's side, they separated, or they got divorced, and then my grandma remarried, and then my new grandpa, that's actually, I was like 4 when this happened, so I think they got remarried before I was even born. Anyway, so on my mom's side, they got divorced, and then my grandma got remarried, and then this guy who was my grandpa, oh, that's what it was. Okay, so my mom's dad died when I was 4. That's why the name 4 was stuck in my head. He died when I was 4, but they did get divorced before that. Then my grandma got remarried, and then my grandpa, who I considered my grandpa because he's been my grandpa my whole life, he actually died a few years ago, and then she just got remarried again. So my dad's parents have been married forever, and then my mom's parents, not so much. Have you ever taken karate lessons? This is another one I didn't realize was in here. I probably should have read these before I added them. I did. I actually took Kenpo rather than, well, I guess Kenpo is a form of karate. But I ended up hurting my ankle. We muelas are born genetically with a little bit short Achilles tendons. And so when I would like kick people or the bag, I would hurt my ankle because the like tendon is pulling the muscle away from the bone or something like that. And so I had to quit. If I were to like stretch my ankle properly, I could probably get back into it because I did enjoy it. And I think I'd rather take Krav Maga. That seems, yeah, Krav Maga. I was thinking Muay Thai. I get those two confused all the time. Anyway, yeah, I think I do want to take Krav Maga at some point. But I'd have to take care of my ankle more than I do already. So yes, I kind of did take karate lessons, and I do want to take them again. And last question, which is kind of a dumb question, and I'm not sure why I included it. Do you know who Kermit the Frog is? Yes. What do you want from me? Yeah. Who doesn't know who Kermit the Frog is? Actually, I guess I do kind of have a story. I never really was into the Muppets. I don't remember ever, I don't even know. Oh, I guess I don't even really know, like, what they did. Was it a show? Like, I know about them, but I don't feel like I ever watched the Muppets. I guess I kind of don't even know really what they're from. Like, I know that they're in movies, but I don't know, like, where they originated. Like, whenever I think of the Muppets, I know what the Muppets are, but I think of Sesame Street. That's what I associate it more with. But I did watch the heck out of the Muppet Babies. I did love the Muppet Babies. So I am very aware of the Muppets, but I guess I never really was into the Muppets themselves, just the Muppet Babies. So that is all the questions I have for right now. Once again, if you would like to submit some questions, post them in the comments below, or you can go onto Twitter and use the hashtag TonyQnA, and I will respond to them and add them and the nonsense and the such and the things. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time.